Well, we're back. Just doing a Sade's Cantina to catch up after a minute. It has been 2 weeks since the last video dropped. I know I was like, oh, I'm gonna do more. Whoops. Yeah, I'm gonna try to actually like schedule this, like put these videos in my schedule, because that's the point we've gotten to. So, I do, you know, I love doing this and I'm not giving it a lot of energy right now and I need to. So I will actually I'll show you. I'll screenshot it and put it in my story. If you don't know, you can follow me at Saade Video, Saade Video on Instagram. Same logo and everything. You'll find it. Um and you can see like I'll put it in my schedule. You'll see. Anyways, um today's video is just answering some questions. You know, that sort of thing, seeing what's going on in Star Wars. So far, so recently it's been kind of like just kind of dead, nothing really going on. I mean, of course there's, Mando and Grogu coming out in a couple months and we have one teaser trailer. That's always great. One teaser trailer and two posters. That's all we got. And one of them is an international poster. It's not even like a US. So one US release poster and one teaser. That's great. Awesome. And then all these like new teasers in the theater that are the same teaser as the first one with a couple different shots. It's like, what the fuck? I don't know what's going on with that marketing. That marketing team sucks, bro. I mean, sucks. Like, look at Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday. That is some of the best marketing I've ever seen. They are literally getting people to go to the theater to watch a trailer. Since when has that happened? Never. That's crazy. And they're releasing multiple ones, so like you keep going back. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Obviously, I see them leaked on Reddit, but and then they tend to release them the week after. But that movie looks so good, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that they are bringing back the characters that we genuinely care about, and it's not just the shitty new Avengers going up against Doctor Doom. You have Captain America coming back. You have Thor coming back. You have the X-Men coming back. Probably Wolverine coming back. Deadpool coming back. Like, these are the characters we care about. I don't care about America Chavez or like all these new young or Joaquin Torres Falcon, or like, I don't give a shit about these people. I don't care. Or Shuri. I don't care. That's not going to bring me to the theater. But if you're telling me Chris Evans, Captain America, Chris Hemsworth, Thor, and Robert Downey Jr. in one movie, you bet your ass I'm going to see it, regardless of what anyone says. Those are three of my like childhood heroes. I'm not going to just fucking, skip out. Oh, I don't know. Come on, give me a break. And then you have all these people whining about it. It's like, what would you rather happen? Would you rather have the shit team beat Doctor Doom, or him actually have competition? And I'd say I think competition's a better option. So I'm really excited for Avengers 2. That's going to be the best movie of that year. I think I'm predicting already. I think that's going to be the best movie of the year. I think Doomsday, well, there is the Odyssey. That also could be movie of the year. It's one of the two. And I really think, that Doomsday could be a revolutionary film. One that's in the books of cinematic history, highlighted, takes up a whole page in, the history of film books. Like, I really think this could be a massive film that shakes pop culture, shakes the film industry, and shows that superhero fatigue doesn't exist. And what it is shitty writing fatigue with characters we care about. That's really what it is, rather than, oh, it's superhero fatigue. People are getting tired of superhero. No, that's bullshit. That's not true. You look at the Batman's box office. You look at, I don't know, Man of Steel's box office. You look at fucking Deadpool and Wolverine's box office. Like, that's just not true. And I know Man of Steel was further back, but you get my point. Like, superhero movies perform well. They still do. But they only perform well when they're characters we care about and they're well written. When neither of those things exist, of course it's not going to make money. Because to be honest with you, I don't care about the Marvels. I don't care about She-Hulk. I don't care about, you know, freaking... I don't need a Hawkeye TV show. I don't need a Hawkeye TV show. Like, that Hawkeye TV show, I didn't need. I don't need that. I want to see Clint Barton in his early S.H.I.E.L.D. days. That's what I want to see. That would be sick. That's what I'm interested in. And then what do you have? Nick Fury, Maria Hill, Phil Coulson. You have a whole bunch of people. Black Widow. I don't care about him being sidelined for this new character who, personally, I don't hate her, but she's just... I'd rather have the real guy, you know? Like, I don't understand. She could be there as a sidekick, but to replace him like that? No. Like, I don't know. So I'm really happy with this approach they're taking. You know, and their last movies have been good. They're on a good streak right now. Deadpool and Wolverine, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and now we're going into Doomsday. So, I mean, this has been a really good streak. Brave New World, to be honest, wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It's not good, but it's not that bad. I actually, like, found it to be a little enjoyable just seeing the Shield back in action again and, you know, getting to see Red Harrison Ford, you know, in the Marvel was really cool. You know, so, like, I don't know. It wasn't awful. I don't think it's, like, this terrible, terrible film. I just didn't love it, you know? Because to me, Cap is Steve, you know? Just because that's how I grew up. You know, I grew up with Cap being Steve. And I'm not against Sam being Captain America. I don't have anything against that. But to the general audience, they don't look at him as Cap because it's ingrained in their head that Captain America is Chris Evans. Right? And then you have then you have them randomly swap to Falcon in a TV show and not a movie, and then all the casual fans are like, what the fuck? And it says Captain America, they're like, this is a sham, this isn't Captain America, right? Because they don't understand the context of what happened. So that's that. That's my whole Marvel thing. You know, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the future of Marvel. I'm a massive Marvel fan, as you guys know. If you don't know, now you know. I love Iron Man. He's my favorite character. Rumor has it he's going to be in Secret Wars for sure. Doomsday, he may or may not be, but I don't think so. But I know he's going to be in Secret Wars. There's been so much, like, everywhere. But, you know, it's still Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, so who fucking, you know, like, that he's there. But yeah, Iron Man is probably top 3 favorite characters of all time. Yeah, I've taken that character to heart in many ways. But yeah, anyways, Star Wars. This is great, actually. Wait, where the fuck did it go? Oh yeah, all potential Star Wars content coming to screens and Disney parks in 2026 from WDW News Today. Love these people. Let's see. Mandalorian and Grogu. Talked about this enough, I feel like. Given my thoughts, I don't think we need to go over that more. Ahsoka Season 2. Now, this I got information today that this is the entire Mandoverse is banking on this show, on this season. And if this season flops, the Mandoverse is done, and they'll just do Dave's movie now. But if it does well, they're going to keep it going and they're going to expand it longer, which I feel they need to do because they have not reached the point of the First Order yet. They have not reached the point of maybe if they want to do something different, which they won't. But if perchance they did want to like have these characters go in a different part of the galaxy to have like almost a different timeline kind of thing, but not really because it's in one universe, but like to give people another option instead of going to the sequels, you know. Which my whole thing is just don't watch the fucking sequels. But you know, if you don't want to watch it, just don't watch it. You don't need to have something. It exists in legends, in books. Read, boy, you know, and you have all that stuff. But anyways, I think that's really what they're trying to do if they can get all of the Mandoverse, is they're trying to like move over here. But yeah, Ahsoka season 2, I mean, we're gonna have Obi-Wan and Anakin and Ahsoka in one show. Maybe Rex. Like this, it's gonna be wild. Now, whether or not it's good wild or Adam Christopher wild, you don't know. If it's just some canon breaking bantha fodder, then I don't give a shit. And I'd rather have them not ruin characters like that. But if they're gonna bring Hayden in and use him how they used him in season 1, which is well, then by all means, please bring them in. Because again, same thing with Marvel. We don't care about Fern and Neil and Osha and unfortunately Finn and Rey, and like we don't care about these characters. We want to see characters we care about. And Anakin and Obi-Wan are two of the highest up there. Okay? Like them in anything, again, it's the same thing. I'm going to watch it. I don't care what people say, what, you know, that is, I'm clicking. Because I love them as people, and I want to support them, and I'm curious to see what kind of story they're in. And it could be in anything, you know, whether it's Star Wars or not. If Hayden's in something, I'm going to see it. I'm a loyal Hayden fan. There's very few celebrities that I'm like that with. I'm like that with Robert Downey Jr., Hayden Christensen, George Lucas, Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale. And that's like, I'm sure there's more, but that's probably it. That's at the top of my head. Those are the people that I really care about the most. And then if you were in music land, then Kanye, John Williams, Hans Zimmer, etc. But yeah, I'm gonna watch it, of course. And there's rumors that Natalie Portman is gonna be Padme in it as well, which that's a rumor, but that would be insane. And I remember thinking the whole Anakin flashback was insane and not really gonna happen till later on when we've got confirmed reports of what it was gonna be, and then they ended up being accurate. But supposedly Padme's coming back. That would be cool. But then I wonder how. Like, are we really going to be like Avengers Endgame, which I don't like that movie very much. I think it's, pretty boring and just like, it doesn't get good till the very end, till Thanos blows up the whole fucking headquarters and then they fight. Everything up to that point just is repetitive. We've seen it already, and they're just using it as nostalgia bait, and it's just stupid. So I hope The World Between Worlds doesn't turn into the whole time travel thing in Marvel. I hope that it's actually meaningful and that they don't just use that to bring old characters back, and that we can actually bring them back in some other way as well. Or if we use The World Between Worlds, I hope that it's used in a respectful way and it's not abused. So whatever they're doing, I'm curious. I'm very curious. And I'm very curious to see how Rory McCann's going to do as Baylan. He looks like Baylan, so I'm not concerned about that. Still not the same, like, build and just perfect casting that Ray Stevenson was. You know, rest in peace to him. But you can't... He was just another level, you know, of perfect for that character. And, you know, Rory McCann is a great actor, and he's a good choice, but nothing will ever, I don't think, replace Ray, and he knows that, and he's working to the best of his ability to make that character remain great. And I did really like Baylan Skoll in season 1, and I hope that they further his character and continue to bring him on the path he's going, because I'm very curious to see where he ends up. But yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. Very curious to see what they do. Now, I've heard things that it was supposed to come out this year, and then for some reason it wasn't on the Disney production schedule, so we think it got delayed, which is kind of scary, which means they're probably doing reshoots, which unfortunately on Star Wars and Marvel sets, that doesn't normally go very well, except Rogue One, where reshoots saved the fucking movie. So, yeah, I don't know if you know the story behind Rogue One, but it is a disaster. Like, the fact that that movie got made and was as good as it was a miracle gift by God. I'm being honest, it was that much of a mess. Like, holy crap. Like, Tony Gilroy didn't even write the script, and he has writer's credits, which getting that level of credits is so hard. And that means that that guy literally fixed the movie in post and reshoots and got a main writer's credit, which is insane. Absolutely insane. But that is a whole miracle story for another day. I wish they made a making of Rogue One book, because that would be an inspiring fucking story on how something got made that fucking well. I mean, that's like insane. But you know, Lucasfilm's too like, oh, it's not perfect enough for us to make a making of book, when they don't want to reveal any Lucasfilm drama because it gives people ammunition against them, and they're like, oh, we can't do that. We have to hide the truth from everyone. Retarded. Anyways, yeah, Ahsoka season 2, I'm definitely anticipating it. I'm just worried that they don't do like an Adam Christopher, where in his book Shadow of the Sith, Anakin shows up as a Force ghost with his lightsaber, and starts like fighting with Luke. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? Like, that just is like, no, bro. Come on. Like, that Force ghosts are there to guide spiritually. They're not there to physically fight. That like goes against everything that George like put in place for what a Force ghost can do. Like, that's not, no. They're called in, the living Force calls them in at specific moments, but they can't fully interfere to that extent. You know, like, that's just not a thing, supposedly, I think. So that was just really weird. And sure, the first read, it's like the coolest thing ever, but when you think about it, you're like, what? You know, it's like that, it's not. And then he did this thing in Master of Evil where like dark side masters feed off the power of their apprentice. It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's just weird. Then if that's the case, then Plagueis should have never died. He's feeding off Palpatine. He never would have gotten killed that easily. You know, like, what are we? I don't know. Like, I like what Adam Christopher tries to do. He just doesn't quite get the lore yet, so he needs a little more education. But once he does, I feel like, you know, he tries to do cool stuff. Anyways, next thing is Maul Shadow Lord. This is going to be great. I don't have any doubts here. I mean, Dave Filoni, when it comes to animation, is pretty solid. His track record is a lot more solid than his live action stuff. So I have faith that this is going to be pretty good. Yeah, I'm not concerned. I think this is just going to be great. As long as it doesn't turn out like Tales of the Empire. Who wrote that? I hope it wasn't Dave. It probably was, though, because we know how he is now. He just is fucking Kathy's little boy. Yeah, I certainly hope that Dave didn't write that. He didn't direct it. That's right. He didn't. Oh, no, he was super. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. No, he didn't write it. Okay. Yeah, he didn't write it. That makes sense, because he fully wrote Tales of the Jedi, and I think he fully wrote Tales of the Underworld as well. Let's see. No, he didn't. Matt Michnovetz wrote that. But Matt Michnovetz, he wrote, oh yeah, he wrote Fallen Order, and he wrote 11 episodes of the Clone Wars. Yeah, that's okay. And additional writing on Jedi Survivor. Yeah, okay, well, I think that's, yeah. Who's writing Maul Shadow Lord? Maul Shadow Lord. Let's see if they have a writer yet. Probably not. Yeah, we have like jack shit on what's going on here. Oh no, okay. Matt Michnovitz is writing Mall Shadow. Okay, that's good news. At least we have one episode that he's writing as of now. Um, yeah, I'm not concerned about that show. Anyways, the next thing is the Ninth Jedi. Some Visions shit. I don't like Star Wars Visions. I like the idea of it, and I like the first episode of the first season, but other than that, I don't give a fuck. Anyways, Disney Parks. Mando and Grogu on Smuggler's Run. I'm stoked for this. They're redoing the entire technology of the cockpit. Because you know sometimes it like glitches, it like will stutter, or things look like weird in the glass. Like it doesn't look, it looks like a screen. It doesn't look like it's popping out. They're redoing that with this new NVIDIA something software. And it's all the technology in the cockpit's going to be redone. The controls are going to be redone to be smoother and more accurate. And there's all these new missions. It's the whole ride is being fixed, which is like great. And I love that ride. I have nothing against that ride. Like I really do. I love Smuggler's Run. It's one of my favorite rides of all time. You get to fly the Millennium Falcon like, you know, and you can get on with no wait because if you do single rider, you just walk on. So it's always fun to every time I'm there, I'm on that ride at least once, most likely twice. Sometimes even 3 times. I think once I did it 4 times. Like I love that ride. I'm like addicted. It's fun because it's like also it's like a game. Not only is it an immersive mission, but it's also like different every time because you're with a different crew and you're having to work like I don't know. And I'm a really good pilot, like really really good. I like to be the right pilot, which is the up and down one. You know, down is up is down kind of deal. And I'm really 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 good. Like I do really well. So yeah, I love you guys know I love Galaxy's Edge with all my heart. It's one of my favorite places ever. I love that place. Um, but yeah, I mean, you can go to Tatooine, Coruscant, Bespin, or Endor. I mean, that's just cool. And then, yes, in the engineer position, you get to interact with Grogu and choose where you fly. So engineer is no longer a, you know, just throwaway position. Which I actually like all the jobs on the ship. I'm not. I know there's people like, oh, you're just slamming buttons. It's like you don't understand how crucial it is because if you don't slam the buttons, the ship gets destroyed. And I see the stupid people who go on the ride and they don't help the crew and they just sit there filming on their phone like this. And then half your ship is broken because you have this idiot who's just filming and not playing the fucking game. And then your score goes down and your damage is all it's you owe so much money to Hondo after it's like it's one of my pet peeves is when you have something like that, like you have Web Slingers or Millennium Falcon or Toy Story Midway Mania or at Knott's Berry Tales, and you have those people just sit there. It's like, no, you're supposed to play, or else the whole point of the ride is gone. It's an immersive experience that you are missing out on because you're too lazy to literally pick up a gun 2 inches in front of you or push flashing buttons. Like, are we serious? Oh my gosh. Good Lord. Anyways, that's everything coming next year so far. Very excited. Looks great. Very, very cool. Oh yeah, Star Wars game Zero Company looks great. I saw that trailer and I'm excited. It looks fun. Galactic Racer also looks great. Star Wars books. Oh god, there's that Star Wars Legacy thing. Ugh, dear Lord. It's about Leia and Rey trying to figure out a way forward after Luke's passing at the end of The Last Jedi. Ooh. What are they gonna do? Kylo's also on the cover. That would be interesting. Look, I would want to know what Kylo's up to, because you know I care about Kylo. He's cool. But I don't know if I'd buy it. Because I don't want a book on Rey and sequel trilogy Leia in my room. God. Oh god. But yeah, that's coming out. Ew, ew, what the hell is that? Oh, hell no. Eyes Like Stars. Set shortly before The Force Awakens, focuses on a couple we haven't met, but we don't know much else about the story. And it's just like fanficky, weird romance, liberal teenage girl romance novel. Ew. 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 That's horrible. Legacy of Vader continues. Okay, that's good. That one I'm actually interested in. Ew, High Republic. And then there is a Shadow of Maul series that's a prequel to the Shadow Lord show. So that'll be important to read before the show comes out. So that's I'm excited for. Visions 1, who cares? Manga adaptation of Jedi Fallen Order. Why manga? Why? One shot comic on Jar Jar and oh, the Grievous graphic novel. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. That's coming out soon, by the way. In March? Yeah. Dude, give me more Grievous. I'm always asking for more Grievous. That's great. That is really great. Obviously, then the Lucas Museum opening, 2026. Very excited for that. I'm on the press squad. So, I'll be updating you guys as I get more information. In fact, I'm going to check the press kit right now to make sure I haven't missed anything. I haven't seen much lately because we're like in the middle of opening, of like starting the whole like opening promo and advertising, and the end of like the long like we went to a bunch of cons, like they did obviously the one I was at, George Lucas at San Diego, and then they did one at New York Comic Con with Martin Scorsese and I think Guillermo. Well, Guillermo was at the one I was at. I don't know, but every con they've been to a couple cons of different kind of events, and that's their first intro to what it's going to be about. But they're ready to move to the next phase, and yeah. So we're just kind of waiting on what's next. Oh yeah, then they did one at LA Comic Con. That's right. That was the other one that they did. Mm-hmm. Robert Rodriguez, Jessica Alba, Frank Miller, Kadir Nelson, and then oh yeah, that's the one I was at. But yeah, so yeah, we're just we're waiting for what's next there, but I will keep you guys updated as you know. So yeah, we're chilling. Um, it's almost done. Like the exterior's pretty much almost finished. There's just some stuff they're doing on the first floor, and they're finishing the what would you call that? The area right outside the main lobby. They're still finishing that up too. Um, but other than that, like it looks like you can see it. It's very much done. The garden on the roof is done. They were doing the last time I was checked out the site. They were doing some stuff to like planters on the perimeter of the place. Um, but I'm sure even now it's even more complete than when I was there last, which was like a couple months ago. But I'll definitely have to go back soon and see how it's looking. But it's a beautiful museum and it's huge. It's fucking huge, like really really huge. So there's gonna be a lot to do there. There's gonna be a lot to do, and this is guys straight from George Lucas. It doesn't get better than this. This is like the best thing you could have happen. A new artwork from George Lucas. Like, holy moly, come on. Even though it's a museum, it's still work from George, like that we're getting. And this has been his focus for so long, and that's been his main kind of thing he's been up to. So, yeah, I'm hoping we do get more soon. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm so excited. It's gonna be great. Um, yeah. So that's that. Lucas Museum, always great. Uh, what else? What else? What else? What do we have? Should we do questions now? Low key, like. Oh yeah, they did this new weird Lego thing where it's Lego Smart. So they're gonna have like electronic Lego sets now that like interact with sensors and everything. I think that's pretty cool. I would have loved that when I was still doing Legos back in the day. I don't do them anymore. I just don't have room. I don't have room, or now actually, like, I find building Legos to be kind of therapeutic. I have these little sets that I like to build, but when I was young, I had my mom and sister build them for me because I just hated building Legos. But yeah, I just don't have room. I would, and it's like, I feel like there's things where like I'm starting too late and I missed the peak and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't have room. And that's the thing is I prefer to collect lightsabers and helmets rather than like vehicles rather than and relics and stuff rather than Legos and whatever. I have a couple Black Series, not too many. I have like three. I like those two when I just grab them when I feel like it. I'm not really a dedicated collector of anything. I buy the ones that I think are worthy of buying, and I don't buy the ones that aren't because I am not a bot. I am not just gonna buy a $300 item because I need it for my collection. No, fuck that. I don't care. Stupid. Anyways, um, yeah, so that's that. Let's see what you guys have to ask me. Okay. Um, Yo, Zane, did you see we're on Theory Story? Yeah, I did. We made it. We made it on Star Wars Theory's main story. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That was really cool, actually. I was like, holy crap, what the fuck? I was in LA with one of my friends, and I was on my phone. I was like, what? And he was like, what? And I showed him. He's like, what the heck? That's crazy. I was like, yeah, I know. But yeah, theorysabers.com. Love it. Love it. Always have. Prices are kind of much, but you have to pay much for any NeoPixel in theory. Constantly has discounts, so that always is wonderful. I mean, constantly, like every couple weeks, this guy has like a 10% off minimum discount, sometimes even 15. Like, and that's really when that's really when like you want to buy if you want one is when there's discounts, because base price, I don't know, to saber collectors, I don't know how much they spend, probably 500 on average per saber. I don't do that. I don't do that, but I have noticed the prices on there have gone up a little bit since it first started, but maybe I'm hallucinating. I don't know, I could be tripping, but I think they have, unfortunately. But when you're doing the amount of discounts and giveaways that guy does, it makes sense. At first I was like, why are the prices going up? What is going on? Is this turning into another? And I was like, okay, well, bro has to pay for Vader Episode 2. He has to pay for all the conventions he's going to. He has to make up for all the money, the losses of giving out free sabers. And the whole buy one, get another saber free insanity, like he has to make up for all that, which is raising prices, that just kind of has to happen. And it's not an insane increase, it just is noticeable. But yeah, still Theory Sabers is the best out there, easily. And I'm not just saying that because I was on a store. You guys know, I'm probably, not gonna lie, I'm one of the most genuine people just in general. I'm very genuine. I'm honest. I will be honest straight to your face. If I don't like something, I will say it. You guys know that. If I don't like someone, I'll be honest and say it straight to their face. I don't care. Obviously, not in a mean way, but still, like, I'm honest. When I have things that I'm sketched about, I express my opinions. You know, like at first I was weirded out with the price increases. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I thought about it and I was like, oh, that's why. But yeah, man. I mean, still, the best of the there is no other saber company that's this reliable and notable and like recognized by Nick Gillard and James Arnold Taylor and uh John Boyega and Ray Park. Like you just that's not a thing, man. Like there is no other saber company who is known by Star Wars cast members. That's not a thing. It's not. So, and it's the best like website design. It's the most professional. I can order from it and not be sketched out. I can order from it and know that my saber's going to get to my house and that it's not some Chinese scam, you know? Like it's reliable and that's what's most important. And their customer service is insane. Like you can ask them anything about the sabers and they will reply. Like they're so good. They're so good. So good. TheorySabers.com. The best of the best. If you want a saber, if you want a nice Bugatti lightsaber, TheorySabers.com. Because you can get a I don't know, what would be a shitty car? You can get a Prius from other websites. But even when you get the car with the lowest bells and whistles on Theory Sabers, you are getting a nice ass car. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Theory Sabers, like, you're still getting the sound packages if you get a basic RGB hilt. And the sound is what makes the saber. That's what I've realized is, sure, the lights are great, but the whole point is the different sounds and the different effects that it does. You know, like for me, like I don't really care if it's like the brightest, most realistic looking one. Sure, it's nice if I have the money for that, but if I just want to buy a saber and I, you know, don't want to save $500, then you could get an RGB and it's dirt cheap. It's like $100. You get Kyberphonic sound font packages with Samuel Kim music. Like what? Like what the heck, dude? It's unbelievable. Nowhere can you do that. Nowhere. And if you buy one like that anywhere else, the sound fonts are shit. They're like if you buy a $500 saber anywhere else, the sound font packages are shit. They're like these like fake inspired by this character. They're not literally this character, which Kyberphonic literally, if it says Annie 3, it's going to be Anakin's sound from episode 3. And you play the movie and you hear it, and then you turn on your Theory Saber and it sounds exactly the same. That's the difference. So, and there's a new sound font packaging coming, by the way. I saw Theory was talking about it. I think he said it's called the EU font package, which is really cool. Which the games package is low-key kind of like that already, just because, you know, the best Star Wars games are EU, and you look at the number of lightsabers in EU games versus canon games, and it's like you know? So, yeah, but I'm curious to see what it'll do, because, you know, most of those characters are in books. So, like, I forget who's doing it. It's Kyberphonic isn't doing that package. It's someone else. But whoever's doing that package is going to have to probably, like, make some up, you know, and be creative and, like, make it work. And that's going to be interesting. I'm very curious to see how that's going to be handled. But yeah, I'm stoked, dude. That's going to be sick. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, what do we have here? If you were to make a Star Wars project, what era would you make it in? Fuck, bro. That's so hard because I love every era. Well, except certain ones. High Republic. Yeah, you know, it's like I have fondness towards most of the eras. And I don't know. I mean, I'd want to do one where I can really make it wacky. Because that's what I love about Star Wars is when you're in those like cantinas and there's all those weird ass creatures and cool droids and like warriors and armor and like there's just so much story within the sets and costumes that like build the world. Like I love world building as a filmmaker too. Like that's my number one thing. Like I will build the world in our world if I have to. Like if I can't make it some weird sci-fi, not sci-fi, but you know what I mean, like fantasy weird alien characters, then I will somehow make some weird shit in our world that's cool and awesome because that's just what I love to do. I love doing that. And or changing like certain like historical groups and making a subgroup and like making them really cool, like I love doing that. Um like that's what I love about Star Wars really more than anything is the world of Star Wars and how that's really what makes it for me. Is that world that you're in that Disney cannot nail for some reason very often, but George did it so well. And it's like this vibe that like I don't know. It's just really enticing. It's really enticing. That's what draws me in is the costumes, the world, the weapons, the conflicts, the different factions. That's what I love about Star Wars. And the Force, is part of the world. It flows through everything. It surrounds us, penetrates us, binds the galaxy together through all sentient things. That's living things. That's all the world of Star Wars. And that's what I love most. Obviously, you can't make a good world without good story, and that's like obviously like tied. So you can't separate one from the other. So really can't. Well, I guess that's not true because Andor. Mm, yeah, Andor doesn't have a lot of crazy, cool aliens and stuff. So I guess I don't know. I don't know, man. I love the world of Star Wars. And that's why like one of my favorite scenes in all of Star Wars is Jedi rocks from Return of the Jedi. And every time people say that, they're like, "Oh, you're just doing it to be niche," and it's like, no, I'm doing it because I'm being dead serious. Like that to me is Star Wars, and George Star Wars, as you do weird shit. It's not always this. Star Wars is not this dead serious brand and like, this super grimy like it's fun to do projects like that, but the first six movies, they are goofy just as much as they are dark. Sure, it's Star Wars is not this bright, happy franchise. It's not Superman. Superman movies are all like dun da da, and cheery, cheery, cheery. No, Star Wars is down to earth, but at the same time, George turns that down to earth and will make things that make you smile. And that's that scene for me. And the music is just good. Like, come on. Really, bro? Really? All the special edition the special edition is way better than the original cuts. Way better. Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started. Oh, look, that was a question. I think I remember. Yeah. Someone asked me, you said, do you like the original cut of Star Wars or the special edition better? Bro, special editions are so much better. It's not even close. What do you mean? Like, boomers are the only people who are like, oh, I like the original cut. Because it's the one they saw in theaters. So they're like, oh, I want to see the Death Star explode without the badass explosion ring. I want to hear Lapti Nek instead of Jedi Rocks. Really, bro? Like Jedi Rocks is and by the way, Lapti Nek, they didn't play the whole fucking song either. They didn't. In the special edition, they added that whole scene where they're all singing like that. That's new. That's new shit. Like, and they're like, oh, they ruined Moss Eisley and they just clutter up the screen. Because it's fucking Moss Eisley, bro. Like, what do you want? It's a central city on a central planet in the galaxy. Of course it's gonna be busy, dumbass. Like, how hard is that to comprehend? Like, people are just stupid. Like, just genuinely stupid. Why it's too busy. Bro, you know what else is too busy? New York City. Way too fucking busy. But do you know why it's busy? Because it's one of the central cities in the central nations of the world. Same thing with Mos Eisley. Tatooine is really well known, and Mos Eisley is base camp, bro. And that's why George did that, is he wanted to show you the diversity of the galaxy through Mos Eisley. And he wanted to show that there are creatures going around everywhere. And, like, stop. Like, why? Why are you doing this? And then they're like, then they did the digital Mos Eisley. It's like, yeah, he did. Do you know why? Because it makes it look big. It makes it not look like a movie set anymore. It makes it look like a town, a city. Is that confusing? Does that not ring a bell in there? God, bro. I could not live with it. I'd probably shoot myself. To be honest, bro, if there's ever a day where, like, all of a sudden the special editions disappeared, bro, I'd be depressed. I'd be so depressed. And that's the thing, is the theatrical releases are prototypes. They're not the finished product. The special editions are the finished product. George said this, and I agree, and I see it. Special editions are the movies with all the stuff in them that he wanted to do and couldn't because of budget and technological constraints and time. So, sure, the 50th re-release, the charity event for Disney that's coming soon, which unfortunately I will buy into because it's Star Wars on the big screen. I'm not going to be all weird about that. I'm going to see it. But at the end of the day, it's a charity event for Disney because they're not making stuff that's profiting enough because they are uncreative and shit at what they do for the most part. So, anyways, they are releasing the theatrical cut of A New Hope. And I'm not super into that. I don't think George would vibe with that. I think that that's really against a lot of what he said, and they're buying into the boomers. Boomers really are kind of just the worst. They're the worst. They have the worst viewpoints. They have the worst, the worst politics, the worst viewpoints, and I don't want to sound like a liberal, Gen Z, blue-haired, gay person when I say that, because that's not me. I mean, they're that way because of other things, but, and they have terrible, terrible takes on movies. It's like Gen Z's retarded, and they're like, oh, things are too old. I don't like the effects. The effects aren't good enough. That's gay. But what's equally as gay is when the boomers go, they don't make movies anymore. All the movies these days are trash. They don't make movies anymore. It's like, shut up, bro. Like, these pricks. They don't make movies anymore. The movie industry's gone. And then they go to the theater and they're like, I love F1, which I loved F1. It was great, but you get my point. And then they go back home and they're like, the movie industry's dead. Sure, there's a part of the movie industry that's not good, but it's a sect. It's just a part of it. It's not the whole industry. I don't... Oh, God. People are just so stupid. Like, honestly, they're so stupid. They don't make movies anymore. It's all just corporates and sequels and remakes. Yeah. Yes, Grandpa. Continue, please. Anyways. What else do we have here? Who's your favorite current Star Wars director, filmmaker, etc.? Oh, God. My favorite, really? I mean... I don't have anyone, man, in particular that I'm enthused to make anything. I don't. Back in the day, it would have been like, Dave Filoni! But, you know, I'm not a retard anymore, and I actually see the bigger picture of what's going on, and I know that he understands. I know he knows what the right thing is to do. I know that he knows how to use the brand right, but he just doesn't. And he bows down to Kathy to get raises. So, I don't know, man. What do you want me to do? Like, he's not the guy anymore. If he can't say no, then I don't know. And Jon Favreau, he's more where I'd be like, okay, probably Jon Favreau, because he made The Mandalorian. He birthed that show. And he had a very good direction for where the Mandoverse was going to go. And a lot of it involved Luke. But Kathy turned it down and made him make Mando Season 3 the way that it came out to be. Because she wanted Mando and Grogu to get back together. And she didn't want to have too much CG Luke, so she made him switch it up. Which, you know, it still has his name on it, unfortunately, and people are going to constantly say that it's his fault because his name is on it and they don't know what really happened behind the scenes, and that sucks. It really does. But then I wonder, to what extent could he say no or fight back against that? You know, like, I feel like if I were in his situation, I wouldn't let that happen, or if it did, I wouldn't be a part of it, you know? Like, I'm never going to be a part of something that's terrible, Star Wars wise, in terms of like a real... Sure, if I'm a PA or something like that on a Star Wars set and it ends up being bad, whatever, you know, that's not my fault. I'm a fucking PA. But if I'm a showrunner and a director, I'm not doing that on a bad show or a bad product. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not. Like, that's just because it ruins your name and it ruins your reputation and it ruins your reliability with Star Wars fans and just people in general when you hop on a show that's terrible and you do a bad job, or you're controlled by studio CEOs, and like it's just bad. It's bad. Okay. Oh dear. Anyways, the Rey movie is coming out, by the way. I know. I've been seeing this, how Daisy Ridley's still talking about it. Now she's like, yep, it's still happening. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Oh yeah, I'm so thrilled to see the Rey movie. You have no idea. Every day I think about, oh, we're getting a Rey movie one day. Can't you believe that? Wow. I'm fucking thrilled. So excited. Rey movie, yeah. Cannot believe they're doing that. That is unbelievable. Genuinely unbelievable. Have you heard about the pink milk? Yeah. Since when has there been pink milk in Star Wars, bro? Like, blue and green is there because it's been in, well, one in Star Wars and one in The Last Jedi. So, like, it makes sense. But pink milk, when has that been? Is that like a thing? I'm sure it'll be good, because my guess is it's going to be like peach, passion fruit, whatever. I'm going to get it the next time I'm there, which I believe is January 11th. I'll be at Disneyland. Yeah. Oh, beginning January. Oh, so it will be there when I'm there. Okay, Wikipedia has a page on this, I guess. On the planet Ironoa, Weequay Jand tried Sanus. Oh, it's in the comics, that's why. Okay. What fucking comic? Dr. Aphra 2020. Oh god. War of the Bounty Hunters. Jesus. Well, I hope it's good. I mean, it looks good. I can imagine what it would be. But then there's a way they could make it like, it looks like orangey too, so like they could put orange in it and then it'll ruin it for me. But I feel like it's going to be peach passion fruit-ish vibe, kind of, I think. But we'll see. I'll try it and I'll let you guys know. And by the way, where the fuck is it? Oh, it's all the way over there, whatever. I got a GoPro. You know, I've always been saying, I'm going to do a Galaxy's Edge vlog, which I have one in my camera roll that I filmed on my phone, and it's in a bunch of different clips that I have to clip together. But now I'm thinking, what if I just GoPro it and release that instead? because that would be more recent. I don't know. And it will be better too, because I just took a bunch. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to just GoPro it. I think I'm going to GoPro it. I'm going to GoPro it on the 11th. And I'll do a POV of me trying pink milk. Pink milk. But yeah, I did film a video. It's on my phone. A whole vlog. I did what I said I was going to do in the last video, actually. I just didn't post it because, I mean, it works. It's just really, really amateur. And I don't want to come across as one of those, like, shit vlogger people. So, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, pink milk. You're going to see a POV, probably most likely, a Saudi video. Zain Saudi trying pink milk. I don't know if you remember back in the day, but 501st Talks, one of my best friends, he is going with me. He's a huge Star Wars fan too, as you know. He had a channel for a while, and then he's a quitter. He fucking quit. He shouldn't have quit. I don't know why he quit. But he will be there, so you'll see both of us trying pink milk. Thrilling. Okay, what the fuck? What else? What else, guys? Are you mad they didn't re-release The Force Awakens? Laughing emoji. Oh, I'm so furious. I'm furious. You know, I find that to be hilarious because it shows that they know it would make no money. I find that to be so funny. And Avatar was, well, it could be that, or it could be because Avatar, most likely, because Avatar was in theaters in December, right around the time they would have re-released it, most likely, that they ended up not. So they might release it around May, when they normally re-release Star Wars movies. That's the only other time they could. And if they don't do it then it means no, because that's Mando and Grogu. So they have to do it in like April. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do that. You know, and I'm not a 100% Force Awakens hater, but it makes sense why they're not doing it. And I'm not going to riot because they didn't do that. Like, it really makes sense why they're not, and why it's not. If it was like Revenge, they would have made it a priority, which they did. But Force Awakens, they're not going to make that a priority. Are you fucking kidding me? They know what the truth is. They know what we think about what they did with the direction they took with those movies. We know. They know. They know. They literally have people who go on to like my channel or Theory's channel or whoever's channel, Ryan's channel, or what's his name, Jeremy, or they go all over our channels and they see what we think. They know. They just don't acknowledge us because they don't like that we tell the truth. They don't like it. They prefer everyone to love their slop, but the thing is we don't. So none of their shows are genuine. That's the thing. They are all advertising people for Disney. And then they tell Disney who they don't like, and then they blacklist them. For example, the whole thing that Star Wars Explained started, that was secretly from Disney, that they shipped to Star Wars Explained and told them, can you release this? Because if Disney did it, it would look awful. It's a Disney plot. It's a plot to destroy the Jedi. It really is. That's really what that was. You know, I sound like Dooku right now telling Obi-Wan, and I'm sure some of y'all are like, it's impossible. But I'm telling you, it's true. It's true. And you'll see one day that everything we say about Disney, everything we've been saying, all these conspiracies are true. Or if you wake up to it now, you'll see. And then once you wake up to Disney, you'll wake up to 10,000 other things like I did. It all started, you know, as Disney was trying to push things down my throat, I went the opposite direction. They did nothing but create a absolute legend, influential genius. Sorry, Disney, you ruined. You tried to get me to conform by putting all that shit in your shows, and all it did was drive me the other way, and now look at all the shit I have on you. Sucks, huh? Anyways, Disney is honestly not the worst company anymore. It's Netflix. Netflix is so bad with their agendas and shit. Disney's turning around, thank God, but they really are. Like it's evident they are really turning around on that stuff because they realized they lost all of their male audience. So they want us back, and they're starting to understand that we don't like most of the shit they're putting out, and they're changing, which is great. And then Netflix is just garbage. They're complete trash, absolute garbage. Netflix is trash. I love Universal though. They've been great. I love them. They're awesome. They're creative. They make good stuff. DreamWorks, same thing. They've been good. Warner Bros. For the most part has been pretty good. Now it's sad that they're going to be ruined by Netflix, but before the Netflix thing, they were great. I loved them a lot too. Yeah, but anyways, I hope they hold their ground against Netflix on that shit because it's not good. Not good. Anyways. Yeah. I don't know. I believe truly that all of those studios know the truth and that the highest people at the top are the ones telling them they're not allowed to change. Because I know that they understand people don't want to watch the goy slop that they're throwing at us. I know that they know. I know that they know. I know because they're human. And because they have a brain. I know that they know. But we're just being fucking used to profit people who hate us. It's great. It's really great. Anyways. Yeah. Let's see, what else do we have here? Have you gotten any cool new Star Wars merch recently? If so, please show. Oh, okay. I gotten a couple things. You guys know I got the Revenge Deluxe book, which is cool. I got this. Pretty cool. And it comes with a DVD. It comes with the, what's it called? The Musical Journey DVD, which is really cool. It's like a musical walkthrough of the saga through the various, themes, meaning like literary themes and musical themes that they go through. And also got this. This is the original Star Wars soundtracks from 1993. So this is pre-special edition. I wish they had special edition, but this is the one they had, and it's still really cool because there's outtakes and unreleased music. How cool is that? Oh shit, you can see my dirty ass desk. Fuck. Sorry, I just got back from vacation and I haven't been home a lot, and then I was out a bunch over the weekend and I just threw everything on my desk and I left. My floor and bed are clean though. It's just my desk is, I guess, not dirty, just cluttered. Yeah. Shit. And then I also got this. This is a new book that came out. It's really good. I really like it. It's updated to very recent, and the ships are, obviously I love ships and vehicles, and this whole book just goes through all the different ones. It's like the character guides, but ships. The character encyclopedias from back in the day, but they're all the different like vehicles, not just ships actually, like speeders and speeder bikes and all that. Let me show you something in here, like pod racers, and then let's go to a random page. They have like these things, and I go to a random page. Yeah, starfighters, right? That was actually perfect. It showed all them shuttles. Damn. Is this separated into like class? It must be like vehicle classes, frigates, battleships. It's awesome. I love this. It's so fun, dude. And it's simple to read. I really get this for the pictures. I'm a visual learner, guys. Yeah. So that's my thing. I'm very visual. you know, I definitely have a very strong musical ear now for music, but in terms of like if I retain information better if I'm looking at it, because that's just how I work. Like audiobooks do nothing for me. I'll forget everything. No matter how much shit they put in it, it's great in the moment, but then I forget everything afterwards. The only ones that I haven't forgotten are the original Star Wars audio dramas because they're just so different and I'm passionate about those stories in particular, so I've retained that. But like if I read a new book in audio, I have to see something with it or else it's not gonna go well. Then I also got this. This is badass. This Star Wars. I have one that's so similar to this too, but it's different. It's called The Galaxy's Greatest Villains. It's also Star Wars Insider, but this is a different one. It's called The Dark Side Collection. Look at this. How tough is that? Look at this. Oh, it's so good. I haven't read through it yet. Oh my gosh. Yo, I haven't read through this one yet. What the heck? Look at this. Holy moly. Holy moly. Holy. Dude. I need to read through this. Holy crap. It's just all aura farming. Oh yeah, I love this visual right here. There's a cool picture in the Book of Sith with this Sith going up against this huge like beast thing in Legends. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Look at this. Beauty, 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 bro. Holy mackerel. Holy mackerel. Dude. Okay, I'm gonna read this later after I do film stuff. I'm gonna just read this all night and be up too late. Oh, they have a section on Ray Park. Hope he's doing well right now. If you've seen my boy's Instagram, but he seems to not be struggling. I've been praying for bro. I'm like, please recover from what? Nick Gillard? What the hell? Bro's in here. What the heck is this? Dude, I didn't even look through most. I just saw like this is sick, dude. Well, buy this, find this. It's called the Dark Side Collection. I'm gonna see if there's a light side one too. This is awesome, but Dark Side's better. More cool. Cooler costumes, cooler visuals. Terrible people. In terms of their values, awful, but they're cool, you know, and it's a fucking movie. Like, get over it. I don't care. I like seeing Vader just slaughter people constantly. You're a psychopath. No, I like cool shit. Okay, there's a difference. Yeah, sorry, but Luke Skywalker doesn't wear this, does he? No, he doesn't. So, give me a break. Like, sure. Luke's a great guy, but he doesn't wear that. You know, the clones are a good example of good guys who look really cool. Or like Anakin in episode 3, where he's wearing the all black robes with the like glove with the metal and, you know, or what would be another example? Han has swag. I think Han's really cool. What would be another one? Like, I don't know. Not that good guy costumes are bad. They're just not as interesting. They're not as intricate, you know? Like Vader's suit, Maul's robes, Dooku's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just so much more, like, bold, because that's what the dark side is. It's, like, really in your face and brash and selfish and rage and angry and, you know, so, like, they're gonna dress more that way, but, yeah. Anyways, I think I'm going to call that for today. I'll go through more at another time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So please leave a like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you in the next video. Until the next one, may the force be with you always. Goodbye. See you in the pink milk video.